Hi Aries, and welcome to your mid-November sort of updated reading. So first, thank you for all the support from you. Honestly, every single person has helped guide me through this process that I'm in. So I really appreciate all your messages and all your emails. So one card, you get the Milk and Honey card. The Milk and Honey card is very much like the Empress card. Very much for some of you, some good fortune is coming your way. So obviously good fortune can be very much, it can be an external or it can be internal. But basically a lot of people would say it's exactly the same thing, okay? But it's very much about some sort of good energy. Looks like it's coming your way, Aries. Mercury's retrograde to the end of November. So is Neptune. And then we'll get some forward motion energy at the end of November. And I have to say most people's readings are playing out that way. That we're obviously still very, very deep in Scorpio season. So working with transitions, death, the shadow, yeah, which is pure spirituality, by the way. So that's really, really where we're at. And then we come out and we set our arrow, which is Sagittarius. And I'm finding a lot of people's readings aren't reaching a conclusion to the end of the month, okay, whatever that means. When we get minor arcanas, they just represent that there's no closing conclusion to where you're at. So it tends to represent an unfolding story. So give me 6 cards for the sign of Aries for the month of November. So the Ten of Swords behind you. Not a bad card. I love the Ten of Swords. It's all the tens are conclusion cards, and anything before the tens is trying to reach a conclusion, like being in fear, feeling that you're trying to push the river. The Ten of Swords is a surrender card. Surrender is one of the highest spiritual qualities that you can ever muster. Okay, a bit like the Hanged Man. Not what I class is typical Aries energy, but it's the highest evolution is thy will be done, okay? It's but not forcing your will onto other people. The Fool is the gift. I love these two cards together. The Challenge is the Five of Pentacles. King of Pentacles in your relationships. Nine of Pentacles underneath the Fool. And then you end in the Magician card. So your two majors are the Magician and the Fool. The 0 followed by the number 1. So beautiful progression of cards. So Ten of Swords behind you is, I don't really read the Ten of Swords the way that other people read it. A lot of people think, oh my god, complete death and destruction. It's the ending of a cycle, and it looks like it's not been the easiest cycle because you've just been in anxiety, feeling trapped in the Eight of Swords, and very, very much in the shadows. By the time you get to the Ten of Swords, it's almost like a leap of faith. Yeah, it's almost like that chapter is over, and then I begin this beautiful full energy. The full energy is where we begin and it's where we end. That's it. And everything in between is the unfolding drama of evolution. Depends on how you look at it. But the Fool is a free spirit. He carries no karma. And that is one huge evolutionary state. And there's very, very few people on this planet who actually are the Fool. But sometimes we get it for a few days. Tends to be when grace descends. We have this sort of spiritual awakening. But the Fool is this freedom of spirit. And you're getting this freedom of spirit because you've obviously been in, it looks like, potentially quite a difficult life cycle. we're in Scorpio season. Everyone I'm reading for is going through it, by the way. But it looks like you're getting quite a lot of liberation from it. So the Fool might only be with you for a few days, but the moments that we remember most in our lives are the moments when we're in the Fool card. So absolutely beautiful. Challenge is the Five of Pentacles. So this can be a bit money. I haven't read the Five of Pentacles as a money card for a very, very, very long time. For some of you it will be. But with the 9 there, I'm not sure. The Five of Pentacles to me is feeling divided from someone. Okay? I call it the wound of separation. A division has set up between you and another person. In the deck, one of the characters is offering his hat to the light. So this might be about trying to make amends to someone, or someone trying to do it to you. There's sort of an energy because both characters are not walking into the solution. So the solution is the light. It's called Satnam, which is about being in the truth of your identity. And it is a challenge because it's very, 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 very challenging to be humble, to own our part. That's what Scorpio's about, and we're in Scorpio season, by the way. So this reading might not be relevant for anyone. There's nothing I can do about it. But Scorpio season, and that's how we get to go forward in Sagittarius. It's by doing that nitty-gritty depth work and stepping into the light, and sometimes offering that hat, bridging the gap, authenticity, truthfulness, that sort of thing. The King of Pentacles is showing up in your relationship house. King of Pentacles can be an earth sign person, but very, very, very regal energy here, very powerful. All the kings and queens are, because they're not like, you know, in the UK, you become a king and queen because of your bloodline. The tarot is not quite like that. We become a king and a queen through great, great trials and overcoming of these trials. Yeah. So other people are showing up for you in a great mastery way. Mastery of health, well-being. But maybe this is an earth person and there's a little bit of division between you and them. And maybe if you want to have that Fool card, I'd step into that. If you've got any part to play in the Shrift, I'd step in and do it. Try and resolve whatever's going on. What's the connecting card between this 5 and the King of Pentacles, please? One card. Hold on. Because it looks like there's something, yeah, the 7 of Cups. Quite a lot of confusion here. About how to even resolve this. Whatever it is, I'm not getting the 5 of Pentacles is only a state of mind, by the way. It's the major arcanas that are the spiritual lessons that we cannot avoid. But they are the moments of bliss in our lives, by the way, or heartache or loss. Let me carry on. I need to try and work out a bit more what's going on here. The reason why I'm finding it hard to read as a money card is in Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles isn't. The Nine of Pentacles is a card of feeling quite secure in your own identity. It's a minor arcana of the Hermit card. So she has clearly got some pentacles around her, and she doesn't look like she's lacking anything, which means I cannot help seeing your challenge is stepping into this light, which is about communication, straightforwardness, humility, very, very often, because the way the man holds his cap is very sort of open, very open to bridging this gap. The outcome is the Magician. So the Magician comes right after the Tarot. So this is about activating the power of the 4 Aces to go forward and almost to birth yourself in a brand new way. Can you give me another card for Aries? What is Magicians? And it's with the Wheel of Fortune. So it looks like some sort of opportunity. Another conclusion card is coming to help you. Maybe you're birthing some new practical path, maybe some new creative project, some emotional way of being, some state of mind. It's that sort of card about, and maybe for some of you, you feel you cannot do that because there's not enough resources. But I cannot help thinking that 5 of Pentacles is about a division between you and someone else, because your reading for the month was very, very much about desiring transparency. And that 5 of Pentacles, for about the last 6 months, has turned up in my readings about being separate. Because if you look at the card, one of the figures is protecting a heart, and one of them is trying to make an offering to heal some sort of division. Okay. I might try, but there's a little bit of confusion about it. Is there a guidance card for Aries? Actually, yours, the readings have been really quite intense. A lot of it is the build up to 2020, the January aspect. To know where it's going to hit you, you need to know where your Pluto and Saturn are forming a conjunction. And in the natural zodiac, it will be the 11th house. I love the natural zodiac. So it'll be about very Aquarius things. And Aquarius rules transparency and humanity. So there might be a little bit of bridging the gap here that's required. But to know where it's really going to hit you, you need to know where the planets are. And it's not a very, very powerful new beginning for the whole of humanity. But there's something about you needing to bridge a gap with someone here, Aries. I'll see if I can get one more card as an advice for you. I'm laughing because you get the tribe. The tribe is about our humanity. That's what the Age of Aquarius is about. And our humanity is living through our heart. Because see, underneath it, every single person in this world is looking for the same thing. And that's what heals the divide between us. Anyhow, Aries, I'm a little bit, this is what you're getting. There's a little bit of confusion here. I've got absolutely no worries about what's going on for you. What a beautiful way to end Scorpio season. We're being in these 4 Aces. So you're getting ready to birth something. And that's exactly the conjunction we're moving up to in 2020. Because as the powers that be tighten the knot, humanity is going to start evolving. So we're going to start evolving and forming more groups and more communities, more tribes to counteract it. So we're not going to have the leaders of the world sit down and say, oh, we were wrong, sorry. It's going to be about connecting as a community, as a tribe, things at 12-step groups, everything like that. So there's something to do with sort of healing some rifts, Aries, basically. Sorry if it's not for you. There's only once in my life I didn't publish a reading, and honest to God, if you'd, I have supervision, and it was just like, I don't know, and it was 3 or 4 years ago. But there's something about bridging a gap, stepping over that boundary between you and someone else. And it's always about being in the truth. And the truth is not, you made me do it. The truth is, that's not the truth, okay? something about lowering yourself and making some sort of amend, I think. Anyhow, lots of love, guys. Bye.